Morons, it's Victor King of the Morons, driving dangerously, holding my GoPro 4 in my hand. I'm kind of near the water, so I went down and I found the water by just driving in that direction. I'm kind of like lost. But I'm using my Google Maps to get, well, look at a big truck over there, to get back and I'm headed back to Niue now. Anyway, I'm answering questions. I did a video just answering questions. Go check that one out. I'll link it somewhere. I'm out on the water. It's pretty nice. It's pretty. And my next question is a pretty simple one, so I can probably keep it short. Who knows? I always say that. It never turns out that way. How can I turn here? Oh, I cannot. Whoops. Sorry. Oh, the girl's on her cell phone. You're on your cell phone. Okay, so I'm gonna get on the road here. Turn it around. But today's question, I got a red light come up here, so I'll do it then. Today's question is, how do I keep in touch with my family? Because my family's all over the world. And a few people have asked me about how I do stay in touch with my family. Because, yeah, I've mentioned it before, that I have family all over the world. So let's answer that. Let's click this in. I hope this works. This grill. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, I hope you can hear me okay. The last video I did, I was out in the wind. It was gorgeous, but it was just too windy. I'm afraid that's unusable, but we will see. So, we will see. Yes, I have family in Peru, in Florida, in New York City, here in Japan, and in Switzerland. And I would say we're all pretty, are we close? We're pretty close. Ironically, I don't see my brother very much, though he's been itching to get back on YouTube. He was on YouTube a long time ago. I think his channel is called Deep Depth, maybe. And he's a really, really good video maker. He's much more creative, I think, than I am, but more, well, let's say artistic. But this YouTube game is a game that requires stamina, and I got the stamina. I don't need Viagra. I can do it. I've been doing it, and I keep doing it, and I'll keep doing it until they put me in the ground, or they ban my channel. But how do I keep in touch with my family is basically the question. I don't know if there's much of a I don't think it's really a question of how I do it. I just do it. I mean, how do you manage your relationship with your family with it being so spread out? That's the question. By the way, for people who saw me touching my cell phone, I'm just using it. See that? That's just I'm just using it to look at I'm glancing at it. I'm not even going to hold it anymore. I'm going to put it here just to see if I'm going the right way. So, it's not that hard. We use Skype a lot. I Skype with them. Gmail's got that messaging system. Use that. And this is really, I think, the key, though. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say it's Facebook. On Facebook, we have made a private family-only thread. And we have actually a couple of them. One of them is for important information, like travel information. So if someone's going somewhere, well, we need to contact someone, you just look at that thread and you can find all the information there. The other one, however, is just what's happening every day kind of stuff. And I'll upload pictures of the baby. I'll tell them, when Yoko had her accident this past week, I told them there. I sent them the video of me at the hospital. Yeah. My brother sends pictures of his kids, my sister sends pictures of her kids, my other sister sends pictures of her dog. We all keep in touch that way, sending pictures and videos and posting comments to the Facebook thread. So I know a lot of people don't like Facebook, and to be honest, I don't like the idea of Facebook, but it is pretty handy. Yeah, pretty friendly, pretty handy. I would think that if you have a family spread out all over the world, that's one thing. That's one way to do it. Another thing that's important, however, is we get together at least once a year, the whole family. Everyone gets together. Well, we try to. It isn't always successful. For example, Christmas time, my brother didn't come last year, but I went, my wife went, my other sister went, and my parents were there. So one of my brother and his family, my sister and her family couldn't come, but my other sister came. There was still quite a few of us, and we saw extended family in Peru. Was that last year? That was 2 years ago. Anyway, we do get together. Oh, that's right. We didn't go home last year because Yoko was pregnant. That's right. We're going to go to Hawaii or visit the States. Another thing to make your family meetups more enjoyable is to pick a place that nobody has been to yet and go there together and do a family trip. A few years ago, that's what we did with Switzerland. We all went to Switzerland and hung out together in Switzerland and rented a car and drove around Switzerland together, the whole family, stayed in hotels. Of course, everyone pitches in for their own food and hotel and stuff, but we're all together, right? So that really does help keep the bond between us alive, because it is something, a relationship you have to work at it no matter who you are. I mean, you're family, so you're basically stuck with each other forever, but why not put a little effort to it and keep yourselves from becoming distant by simply, meeting up as often as you can. So if you're like me and you live in another country, I think that's another good way to do it. You sometimes have to schedule these ways. I will admit that I'm not really good about communicating with everybody, all the time. But we do have a sense of what's going on almost every day in each other's lives, thanks to the Facebook thread. So with that, it kind of, because you know each other already, right? So you can kind of, I think what happens is we kind of imagine the conversations. They almost feel real, even though it's just Facebook chats sometimes. But because we see each other's videos on Facebook, everyone sends their own private pictures and videos, and we tell each other what's happening, it feels like we actually are meeting, though of course we're not. That's kind of interesting. And I guess the fact that we grew up together gives us the ability to kind of imagine what it would be like if we were actually there. But you don't even have to do that. Nobody's imagining. We just feel. We just post the videos, post the pictures, post the comments, and that's our relationship, and it works. It works fine. And then once a year we get together and fight, fight for real. Go to restaurants together, a big group, and everyone, go to movies. We're not always together the whole time, but like my wife and I'll go back, and then we'll go off to the movies, leave everyone alone. My brother and his kids and his wife will go off and do something alone, So, but at the end of the day, we were seeing each other during those visits, and that helped keep the relationship alive. I guess that's all I got to say. It's not that hard. Let me see if I can flip this over. It's not that hard to do, but you do have to do something if you want to keep your relationship with your family alive. Now, here's something else I'm going to tackle while I'm at this. I know some of you, I know one particular person, and I know if there's one, there's more. Quite a few have told me that you're not close with your families. You told me in your comments that when I had the baby, someone said, whatever you do, play with him, play games with him, because my father didn't, and we sit at dinner with no conversation at all. And some of those things you can't do anything about, but because you can't control other people. So even if you want to have a nice relationship with your father, if he doesn't cooperate, there's nothing you can do about that, and that is a shame. But you have to try. Even if you fail, you've got to try. And at least, at the end of the day, you can say, well, I tried. So those of you who don't have such good relationship, who aren't so close with your family, and believe me, we're not the ideal family. We have a lot of problems too, I'm sure, I guess. Well, we don't need therapy or anything, I think. Yeah, you got to try. So if you don't get along with your father too well, make an effort. Maybe he'll be like, why do you want to do that? Let's go out to dinner, Dad, just you and me. He'll say, why do you want to do that? Well, because you're my father. Just tell him, you're my father. Let's go out. I'll treat you. Make an effort. The other thing is, don't be petty with your families. It's easy to be petty because it's easy to be petty with family, and sometimes people are. You can see it. When your brother's a cheapskate, it's easy to see that. For example, and you're going to want to kind of treat him the same if you're always paying for everything. But if it's a matter of keeping your family close and together, then do your best not to be petty, especially when you're trying to repair a relationship. Right? Now, if the relationship, this is what I tell the younger kids when I do teach younger kids. I don't teach them much. As a joke, I tell them that human beings basically all decisions are based on 4 things. Number 1, money. Number 2, love. number 3, laziness, and number 4, insanity. So a lot of the fights that we have, a lot of the reasons we have fights are because of money problems. So if that's something you can take care of, then take care of that. Don't let money get in the way of the family. Unfortunately, I've seen it so many times. When my grandfather died a few years ago, money became a slight issue between my mother and some of her siblings. A lot of them didn't care. She has a lot of siblings, so some of them were okay. With some of them, it became an issue. So don't let that be a problem, and that will help your relationship as well. So when people ask me, how do you keep a relationship? How do you stay on good terms with your family? Well, one of the keys is don't let money get in the way. All right, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for cruising with me. Let's get back to the road. Talk to you guys soon. And thumb up this video, goddammit!